I always think about it as what is the win out of gathering together and what do we take forward with it and how do we share it forward to a larger community. So with all of the different agent needs that everyone has, everyone's quick to do whatever's on the table transactionally, and that's kind of easy real estate 101. What comes from more efforts, more forethought, more relationship making is having product knowledge about all the different types of programs that there are available, whether it be a loan program or it be getting someone stronger to be able to get a better loan program. So whether someone might think that they have a worthy enough credit score to get into a loan at all is one thing, but how strong can you be with your credit to be able to get the best rate with that loan program, or to be able to have a loan officer think deeper about how to serve you. So when you say, how can I bring value to you, that's what a realtor's conversation needs to be in order to get the interest of the individual on the other side of the phone or on the other side of the table. So here we are, so go ahead and wow us.
Great. Hi everyone, my name is Dennis. I'm the owner of Trusted Credit Repair. Before I go into my past and how I started in the business, I want to just quickly touch on what he just said, and as far as the credit scores and the importance of a higher credit score when it comes to buying a home. Simple math. 680 is the norm for a qualifying credit score nowadays. Okay, most mortgage brokers can approve you at that score. But what interest rate you're going to get? Right now, our prime, I think it's 5.25 plus whatever he's going to get you approved, then probably that person is going to end up with a 7.5, maybe even a 9% rate, which is decent. But how does that translate into the long term? So hypothetically speaking, what's an average house price today? $800,000, right? $800,000 home at 7.5% in 30 years is going to cost how much? Close to $2.5 million, roughly speaking, right? So now that 680 person can be introduced to a 720 credit score through certain methods and tactics I'm going to discuss it today, and now his interest rate becomes 5.25, because that's what most banks want. They want a 720 and above. And now that $2.5 million becomes $1.5 million. So when you show that to a person on paper, they go, oh my God, wow, how do I get myself a higher credit score? The credit repair aspect of it. What do we challenge? We challenge collections, we challenge repossessions, we challenge charge-offs. We cannot challenge late payments and active accounts. That's something that we cannot do. Why? Because there's no justification for that. So that's the credit repair aspect. How long does it take? That's the next big question. That depends on the situation. If your credit has 15 different collections, 2 repossessions, and all kinds of bunch of different stuff, medical bills and everything else, that file could take up to 6 months or a little bit more. Why? We can't dispute everything at once, okay? We cannot go to the bureau and say, this is not mine, you guys, this is not verified, blah, blah, blah. They're gonna look at it, they're gonna laugh, and they're gonna say, come on, So we have to dispute 2 to 3 accounts monthly, and they do come off, and they come off permanently. If an account comes back on, which happens sometimes, we guarantee our work, we'll take it off, even if you're done with the file, we'll take it off at no charge. Cards, how do you improve your credit score? Credit score is like an elevator. Balances go up, credit score goes down. Balances go down, credit score goes up. Why do they do that? Because the algorithm is set up, it's a fail-safe. They don't want you going out there and getting more credit if you already maxed out on your credit cards. Common sense, makes sense. So plastic is the credit limit, the actual bottle. The water inside is your debt, okay? So what's the percentage of this debt? It's about 95% right now, right? So there's 2 things you can do. You can either eliminate the water by paying down the debt, which is if you owe $10,000 to $20,000, not everybody can do this nowadays. You would have done it already. Or you can increase the size of the bottle. So that's exactly what we do. But we increase the size of the bottle by making the contents of the bottle smaller, allowing you to have a better credit score. So now you can go to a bank or a lending institution and say, look guys, my debt is now this, let me have a loan, at lower percentage to consolidate my credit cards.
What states do you work?
We work in every state except for Tennessee and Georgia. Credit repair is illegal in those states.
Dennis, real quick, how much does each inquiry affect your score?
So normally, if it's a fresh inquiry, it's between 2 and 3 points.
So somebody has 20 hard inquiries?
Somebody has 20, yeah. It's gonna average out, because what she said earlier is true and correct.
Get approved.
Right. So, let's say you went to a dealership and you got 7 inquiries. They technically count as 1, but there's still 7 on the credit report. So when the scoring algorithm kicks in, it will count those points towards 1, but to any lender, 7 inquiries is 7 inquiries. So it's a touchy issue. But normally 2 to 3 points.
So I don't know, oh, go ahead.
That's okay. So when we're pitching your services to a client, they're gonna say, well, how much does it cost? I know every situation's gonna be a different scenario, but what's the general rule of thumb? Is there a
Very
fee
good
sheet
question,
we
very
can
good question.
send
I should
out?
have touched on that. Okay, so we're very affordable. Okay, everybody, we don't, I've seen people charge $10,000, I've seen people charge $2,500, $5,000 for credit repair. Number one, it's illegal to do that. Okay, you cannot charge up front for credit repair. That is
Number two, if they're in that situation, they don't have a lot.
They don't have,
cash on
exactly,
hand.
they have the money. So our system is very simple. Okay, we have two programs. One is $149 a month, one is $199 a month. The difference is, if you have medical bills, old outstanding charge-offs, and things that are more than 5 years old, it's an easier file to do, that'll be $150 a month. If there's a repossession and certain difficult things like recent charge-off and things like that, that would be $199 a month. Normally, 4 to 6 months, we get the file done. Recently we did a file in 60 days, the person bought a house and closed,
And then to show our customers, to answer that question of why would you do it faster, we'll have to show them your reviews and your website and that you're not monkeying around.
Correct,
Because that was
exactly.
that little.
Of course, there's a trust level. That's why we
Right.
call the company Trusted Credit Repair. That's why we're a brick and mortar location.
Aha.
Yeah.
I want to sum up the actual video because, again, not all agents want to watch an hour video. They want to watch 12 minutes and get it over with. So I do want to bring this to that purpose and then go deeper in person. So what I always hear things with the ears of is, how do we make it an easy topic to achieve and have the largest consumer pool to access? So I'm hearing a lot about the buy down loan rates. I'm hearing about the take your credit, make it 680 into 720 and get an even better rate, and different tricks of just tightening up who you are. We want to take medium level people, tighten them up, make them feel empowered to a bigger degree, because even buying down a rate, as we're learning, makes your buying power still stay at 600,000, let's say, versus going down to 500,000 because of that interest change. Now you're also talking about a higher level of notoriety with your credit rating being what you think is good in the minimum of 680 going into any bank, and they're saying we'll still talk to you, but they'll talk to you better and give you better rates at 720. So that $150 a month, and it's not a contract term, I imagine. It's do what you can for as long as you can and get it done. So just stay tuned with these sort of links. I'm glad if you heard this whole discussion, then you learned a lot. We're going to finish this video. We're going to continue our discussion, and stay tuned.